I really wanted to prove this isn't just a thing you can do if you're already famous, if you're already an elected official. And from May to June, so the last 2 months of the primary, they generated over 42 million views and brought in 525,000 followers. So like the perfect audience of people who would be interested in something like what you're posting, but don't follow you. And that's the one that went the most viral for me. That video alone got 2 million views. These reels, because they're getting shown only to non-followers, have a follow rate 7 times that of a normal reel. So we are back in one of those special, rare, wild, wild west moments where anything can happen.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Hello Merge Tag, a podcast about social media, politics, and where they intersect. We check in with candidates, consultants, strategists, and more to find out what's working and what's not in the political digital world. I'm your host, Josh Clemens of Reverbal Communications. We help progressive campaigns and organizations win the internet. Have questions you want answered on the pod? Have a guest or topic recommendation? Just want to say hey? Drop us a line at hello@reverbalcommunications.com. Find all episodes at hellomergetag.com or wherever you stream podcasts. Now let's dive in. Look out, Facebook. Now you can drive website visits directly from Civic Shout. Introducing Express CPC, Civic Shout's new cost-per-click ad system. Everyone already knows that Civic Shout's the best way to grow your opt-in email list. Folks like M&R, Greenpeace, and Feeding America stand by it. So can you. Grow your list and run traffic campaigns that hit so hard, your team will wonder how you did it. Environmental Action called Civic Shout a wildly better way to grow your email list. And Clarify Agency saw a 200% return on ad spend in just 2 months. Civic Shout, the ad platform for progressive causes. Head to civicshout.com/partners to learn more. That's civicshout.com/partners. Hey y'all, quick note before we dive in. If you're enjoying this podcast, please consider leaving a review on Apple, Google, or wherever you listen. We're also putting every episode on YouTube now, so if you prefer your digital deep dives with video, head on over that way. You can find all links plus lots more at hellomergetag.com. And if you're already watching on YouTube, hey, apparently I am legally obligated to say, please like and subscribe. So go ahead and do that. Okay, thanks, y'all. Back to the show. Gabbi Sutro was Zohran Mamdani's ManyChat wizard, helping drive tens of thousands of clicks and thousands of email subscribers from Instagram, all via automation and all for just $318. If that sounds interesting and you haven't already, go check out episode 38 of this podcast, where Gabbi and I dove deep into the what, the how, and a whole lot more behind that part of the campaign. But Gabbi is so much more than just a ManyChat power user, and I am thrilled to have her back on the pod today to talk about what else she's been working on and what else she's thinking about in the digital space. So first of all, thank you for coming back. You started an Instagram account. You can correct me. I'm sure my numbers are a little bit off, but give or take 6 weeks ago, and you've already racked up, give or take, 2 million views on the account. So first correct my numbers and then tell us, how did you do that?
So yeah, my new Instagram account, Extremely Online Friend, I started October 5th, so a little over 6 weeks ago. And the number is actually now at about 5 million views. 5 million views in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
How? Walk us through, let's start with, you already have some big accounts. So let me be blunt. Could you have done this if you were starting your first account, or did you use other accounts in order to be able to leverage their reach to grow your own?
So I definitely did a little bit of the latter, but that is not where the majority of my views came from. So let me start from the beginning a little bit.
Please do, yeah.
I mean, I have been working in organic social media in the political world for almost a decade. And I developed all of my organic social skill set through working on political accounts, working for elected officials, pretending to be elected officials, working for campaigns and advocacy organizations and what have you. And so then when I got a dog about, oh my God, I think 4 years ago today. Oh my God.
Happy birthday, Edna.
I forgot today. Whoa.
Still time to celebrate tonight. That's okay.
When I got a dog 4 years ago, I was like, I cannot have this become another social media project for me. This needs to be completely offline. I'm just going to love this animal. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't hold her up to the
If you're
screen.
listening to the podcast, this is the moment you should definitely go to YouTube, because Edna is on camera and in all of her glory.
She's very sweet. But I got Edna and I was like, no way, this is staying offline. This is just for me. Because I was like burning out, running up to like 20 different social media accounts at the time. So I was just done. But then, you know, you get a really cute dog, your friends and family are going to be like, let's see the dog. And I just wasn't posting enough about her. So they were like, you have to start a social media account for her. And I was like, I really don't want to. I was just hemming and hawing. And then I gave in and started an account for her. And then like, I'm not gonna embarrass myself by giving my dog a bad social media presence. So within like a year and a half, one thing led to another, and she was just like racking up followers. And now she has like hundreds of thousands of followers across platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Threads. And we reach millions of people every month. We do a lot of sponsored content. And it's just like a real enterprise. And yeah, that was all from nothing. And most recently I worked on Zohran Mamdani's campaign and like helped them kind of tweak certain things on their social to help them max out and reach the most people. And I definitely want to talk more about that a little bit. But like I really wanted to prove to like my clients and my friends and my family that like this isn't just a thing you can do if you're already famous, if you're already an elected official or like a famous candidate in a famous race. Like this isn't something you can only do if you're like a really cute dog. Like this is actually something anybody can do in 2025, year of our Lord. Like and you can do it using just like standard best practices and like experimental thinking and authenticity and consistency, and like the right brew of those things together will grow you an audience. Like your content is going to get spat out onto the feeds of the people who are meant to be your audience because they've interacted with content that's similar to what you're making before. So that was my like theory. And I also have been being like a huge bitch, like my friends and family who are interested in starting a content creation practice or like growing a page themselves, but are like, I can't do it. Like, it's too late for me. I don't know how, like this doesn't work for normal people. And I really, like, I've been telling them like, no, it really does. Like, it's just, like, do this, this, and this, and this, and you'll see. And I think it's really tough for people to like have that blind faith that the process is going to work for them if they've never had it work for them before. Yep. Whereas like I have had the privilege of like walking into big pages and like using the tactics and the strategies and like watching them work, and then also starting Edna's page from zero, watching it work. But I think everyone was like, I'm not a really cute dog, I'm not already famous, and they give up before they even start. So that was kind of the purpose of me starting this page, was like, A, to give myself a professional platform that wasn't my dog, and B, like prove to everybody like, nah, we can actually do this. And so that's how it started. And I was pretty explicit about that from the beginning. And I had a lot of my friends and family be like, but Gabbi, like, what if it doesn't work? Like, won't that be so embarrassing when, like, if your stuff flops and the account doesn't grow? And I was just like, that is not a concern of mine. Like, it's going to work. Like, I have the blind faith because, like, I've been practicing this religion for a long time. So that was the idea. And I just kind of started, and I didn't like email my email list about it, being like, follow me. I didn't post on LinkedIn, which is where I've been getting a lot of social media attention lately. I didn't push it out anywhere but Instagram, and totally did repost from Edna's account when stuff was relevant or I felt like it could pop.
You did do that from Edna's
totally account. Did do that. But again, I'll tell you where most of my views came from, and that is not it. I also like posted, I was supporting some of the like Zohran creator machine that
I saw some collab posts that were like giant.
There were definitely reposts where he reposted stuff of mine.
He being Zohran?
Or like the campaign did?
Or like, you know, I didn't repost my own stuff, like someone else on the campaign did.
Are you sure? No, just kidding.
I reposted other people's stuff for them, but I was like, this is a conflict of interest. I won't
Yeah.
repost my own stuff. But yeah, and like, so some of that, it like does come from literally having like networks of creators and like people outside of Instagram for sure. But again, not where even like not where a fraction, or it's where a fraction of my views came from, but not millions of them.
Right.
So where did the 5 million come from? Mainly one source, which is trial reels. Which I've been telling Josh about for literally months.
I knew about them, but I had not seen them work. I mean, I'd seen them work a little bit, but not the way you had seen them work. Yeah. Walk us through, because I still, most people in my experience have no idea what a trial reel is, and they are missing out on a huge opportunity hiding within Instagram. So walk us through what it is and how you use it. And is it complicated?
It's not complicated, but it's still a little bit of a black box. I will also just say, just to pique your interest further, so you keep listening to this podcast, we used trial reels. I introduced them to the Mamdani campaign back in May. And from May to June, so the last 2 months of the primary, they generated over 42 million views and brought in 525,000 followers. They hit 1 million followers on election night. So if anybody's counting, that's more than half their followers.
I wasn't going to ask about that because I wasn't sure if that was public, but I think that's like a very interesting thing. Like for all the virality, like this one tool was helping create virality. Why don't you explain what it is for context? Because like a trial reel, and I was joking about, is it complicated? Because it's literally just a radio button at the bottom of your post. You just hit it and then it happens. It's like magic. It's like I had a client the other day use one and he didn't have access to it because it was a new account. And then when he got access for it for his second page, it was his second post ever, and he reached 84,000 people using the trial reel. And it was a good post, but who cares? He had 12 followers on Instagram, and he reached 84,000 people. And like, so my point is like, he is not Zohran Mamdani famous. You know, it was just like a brand new account that exploded because trial reels really are a secret weapon. For now, we should caveat that they'll, just like everything else, they'll probably go away. But yes, we are talking about them now. Let's explain them for folks who are not already using them.
Let's explain them. So basically, this is a feature that Instagram launched, I think, earlier this year. And it was initially launched for people who were sort of hesitant to post. People who were like afraid to be experimental, or like didn't want to like bother their audience by posting something sort of out of their lane or interesting or new. And so Instagram developed this feature where you can toggle on a switch at the bottom of the post, and not everybody has it. It's still rolling out. Initially, it only rolled out to like a handful of people. Then they said it was rolling out to everybody with 1,000 or more followers. But I got access to it on my new account at around like 200 followers.
Same.
So
I had it before 1,000 on one of my accounts.
Yeah. So it seems like it might just be like coming like built into new accounts.
It's like rolling out. Well, this one client, he didn't have it, but after doing like a post, he got like a couple followers, and then he had it by the time. So like it's so rolling out. If you don't have it, just keep checking. Make sure your app is up to date. Like you'll get it soon. Keep posting.
Yeah, just keep going until it comes, because it'll come eventually. And so that's why they developed it, was just to like make it easier for you to experiment with stuff. And what it does is it posts that post to only people who don't follow you. So before it's posted to your feed, to be shown to your followers, it is getting shown to an audience of people who don't follow you yet. And like tested there to see if it performs well. And then the idea per Instagram is that you see how it performs in that like non-follower audience. And if it does well, you hit share to everyone, and it posts so that your followers can see it. But if you never post share to everyone, it'll never go onto your grid, and your followers might see it if it gets shared with them or something, but it's like not really meant to show up in their like discovery feed. So that's what it was meant to be used for. But the knowers, like people who work in this industry and are like constantly looking for legit algorithm hacks, not like fake algorithm hacks, but like legitimate like holes in the technology that like let you max out your reach. we identified like pretty early on that like, oh shit, you can just post your most viral videos as trial reels, have them not crowd out your grid, have them not badger your followers and annoy them with repetitive posts, and only be shown to people who don't follow you yet. So like the perfect audience of people who would be interested in something like what you're posting, but don't follow you. So that's amazing. So basically that's how people started using it. It's just like endlessly, infinitely reposting their best content as trials.
And then never hitting go
and
to
never
audience,
hitting,
leaving it in there. And clarify for me, I think you told me this with Zohran, for example, you weren't just like reposting it once as a trial reel. You might repost it. Are we cool talking about like
yeah. I got permission from the campaign to talk about this now that it's over. I didn't talk about this after the primary because I didn't want Andrew Cuomo to get hip to whether or not his account had this feature and then use it and go viral for it. But
in fairness, and the more people Andrew Cuomo reached, the worse he did. But let's either you're his own worst enemy. But so just to clarify, you would take a video that already went viral, recreate it, and then recreate it a bunch more times and just keep trial reeling it. So it's just flying. But if somebody goes and looks at your feed, they only see one version of it.
Right, exactly. So the way to do this at scale, and I wasn't creating any new content. This is stuff that Melted Solids and the video team on the campaign already made, already had posted, and we had already seen perform really well. So
you were taking top performers, right?
Right. I wasn't doing any content creation with one small exception. They had this very, very long, 5-minute long video with the comedian Jeff Seal. And I was like, you can't post, it has to be under 3 minutes or it's not considered a reel. So I was like, we have to chop this up. So we chopped that up into 5 different smaller videos. I just edited it in CapCut and I posted those again and again. So the technicals behind this are literally you go in, make a video, set it to trial, and then I'll save that as a draft. And then you go back into your drafts and you'll see line by line your videos that are saved as drafts. And then you can hit your 3-dot menu and duplicate till you have 10 copies of this thing, and then you kind of slow drip them out over the next few days.
All with the same copy?
Yeah, all with the same exact copy.
So if somebody saw 3 versions, they wouldn't realize that they saw 3 versions because it all looks exactly the same.
Might be I thought this had more likes, but
other than engagement, no way to know that it's brand new.
Right.
Wild.
But you can also do it with different copy. I also want to say, not to burst everybody's bubble, they've made this a little bit harder since we did it in the primary. They started now they'll sometimes ping you with a notification that's hey, we noticed you posted this more than once, or we noticed this isn't new content, you already used this, so we might show it to fewer people. And I've seen that both be true and completely untrue.
Right.
I've seen my reused stuff get 4 views, and then I've seen it get 1 million. So it's I don't know how they're deciding it. I don't know what their AI is telling them is new, is original or old, but
interesting.
It used to be more reliable that kind of almost everything would get a bunch of views, and now stuff can totally flop.
I was going to ask about that. So you do see things flop even. Yeah. Is that only if it's already been posted, or even sometimes you'll post a trial reel, it doesn't do well, but then you just share it to your audience, or do you not?
Both. So it's I couldn't say with any consistency. And I don't know if Instagram, basically, I also we can get more into this later, but I just want to emphasize this is a legitimate product failure on their part. It's probably going to become a real problem for them. It's probably going to stop working pretty soon. But I want people to understand the moment we are in right now. We only get one of these every couple of years in organic social media, right? Where in 2017, this happened with Facebook Lives.
Every client I talked to, I was like, if you're not doing lives, you're not reaching through. And now if you're doing lives, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Stop. That's annoying.
Right. Well, at the time, Facebook was we want everybody to be doing these. So it was basically the only action you could take in Facebook that would notify everybody in the network that you were doing it all at once.
Yep.
And so every time you went live, you would just reach a crazy number of people because Facebook really wanted to incentivize it. So they were putting it at the top of everybody's feeds, right? So that was the 2017 hack. Then like fast forward to like 2020, 2021, when Instagram decides it wants to become TikTok, suddenly it's all about reels. Like if you're not, and I'm not talking about just video, there was like video, there was IGTV, and there was reels. So they're like your vertical video. And because they wanted to be the app for that and compete with TikTok, they were pushing reels way harder. And reels are naturally more engaging than like your standard photo post because they take more time to understand. You have to look at them longer. But so when this happens, basically, if you are posting any reel, you are getting 1 million views on it every time.
This was then, just to clarify for folks.
It was the wild west. If you had any kind of reel strategy, it was
you were winning for sure.
You were winning. You were growing like crazy. You were getting unbelievable reach. Of course, that fizzles out eventually because like they figure out how to like algorithmically weight it better, more appropriately, and more competition comes. So the Reels feed is more crowded out. You're competing with more accounts for the same amount of attention. And now we're in this moment where like they haven't quite figured out how to rein this feature in. They're not totally sure how it fits in the algorithm, and they just like haven't figured out how to punish you yet enough for like repurposing the exact same content. So we are back in one of those special, rare, wild west moments where like anything can for real. And so I do want to
5 million views on in 6 weeks. So literally anything can happen.
5 million views on a brand new account.
Are you using that strategy of like posting the same thing many times? Like once it goes well, you just like trial reeling it like a ton?
So I haven't like had that many videos to do that many times, but I post things a couple times and they mostly perform well like one time. But also this one my best reel. Here's the sequence of something.
Was it about right after the win?
No, it was after the second debate. Where Cuomo's just like lying through his teeth about how much he spends on groceries every week. And
$150 a week. Yeah. Answer.
Yeah.
That's what he spends on appetizers at dinner, right? Exactly.
You can tell he's lying. He like scratches his nose. He's like, I don't, because he's like the first person they asked. Anyway, I just thought it was such a funny clip. So I did like this really quick, like stitch video with that, and also Kim Kardashian's line from that week about how she doesn't know how much a carton of milk costs. And it's like 30 seconds long or something. But first, what I did was I posted a version of it. I was using trial reels the way it's meant to be used. I was like, I actually don't know if this is gonna work. And it was like a version of that video where I was on screen the whole time, kind of green screened with the clips behind me. I was like, I just wonder like how this will perform compared to me where I go off screen, me where I just like am on screen describing, then a clip. So I was trying to see like which one did better. Very immediately, the clip where I was not on screen, the video where I was mostly off screen was clearly outperforming the other one. And I was like, maybe I should try using trial reels the correct way. And so I published that one to everyone. And I immediately saw like the line was going like this. It was just like whoosh, going crazy. And then when I published to everyone, it completely plateaued. And I was like, oh, fuck, that sucks. So strangely, I then was like, well, like, I wish I could undo that. And then I was like, maybe if I just post it again to trials and see. And that's the one that went the most viral for me. That video alone got 2 million views. The second one, like I had already—
The second version of it.
Well, it was the second post of the second version.
Right. Oh, right. But did you eventually publish it to everybody, or it's just lived in trial reels?
It's still living its best life in trial reels, still getting engagement every single day.
Is it still getting engagement?
Yes.
That's been what, like a month and a half? Early post for you of the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
And I've had a couple more like that where there's versions of them on the grid, there's versions of them in trial reels that are just like getting, I think I have one other one with 1 million and then like a few with 500, like 300, 500,000 kind of things. And that's where almost all of those 5 million views came from.
Do you think that this works if you're not talking about a campaign that everybody's paying attention to?
For sure. For sure. So I won't name names, but I have a coaching client right now. Well, one of my clients is also like my dog trainer. We like barter.
Sure.
And like she's using the same tactics where she's going like direct to camera, posting regularly, a few times a week, and like posting in niche with like good hooks. And she's like growing like slowly but surely, like every day growing and like building an audience and getting more comfortable talking to camera. That's one of my coaching clients right now. Another one of my coaching clients, I just had a call with literally 4 days ago, if that, like 4 days ago. And I described to her how to use trial reels. And I was like, show me your phone in the screen, like scroll down to the bottom of the pre-posting screen, show me if you have this feature. And she was like, do I? And I was like, yes, you do. Here's what you're going to do. And she has been reposting her best performing like videos of the last, 6 months or whatever. And she's been stuck in like the 600 follower range for a long time. She's a like mega genius. She's very like just so smart, incredible organizational psychologist and coach. And she posted her first trial reels a couple days ago, and one of them took off and has gotten like something like around 50 to 60,000 views when like
the account with 600 people. Yeah. That's
all
good.
of her other videos are like under 3,000 views.
Right.
So this one got like 50 to 60.
There are plenty of congressional candidates who would be thrilled with 50 to 60,000 views. Let's be honest.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the part beyond views that is absolutely nuts, is that these reels, because they're getting shown only to non-followers, have a follow rate 7 times that of a normal reel. So like even this is true on Zohran's account, it's true on my account. Like so her video that's doing so well, like the 50,000 view one, has gotten her like 150 followers. So she's now in the
25% more. Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Which is nuts because she's been at 600 whatever for years. And like this is actually overnight. And this is, this is how all growth has always kind of worked, is like slow and steady with like punctuation marks of virality, and then you slow and steady and you go, over and over again. But this is like kind of a way to just add water and speed it up, just like really catalyze it. So what we saw on Zohran's account is like obviously his most viral videos got really heavy duty follows. Like if you're calculating follow rate as like reach to number of followers gained from that video, like it was something like a normal follow rate for him would be like between 0.1% and 0.2%.
Okay.
Whereas your average trial reel is around 0.7%.
Okay.
And there was one trial reel that he had that had over 100,000 follows.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild.
I should also mention that like this is obviously something I'm using on my dog's account too, on Edna's account. And like we were really in like a lull during the midsummer, and she did not have trial reels. Like Zohran's account was the first big account that I used trial reels on because Edna didn't have them yet. She just got them like a month and a half or 2 months ago. And the second she got them, I started reposting her most viral content, just tens of thousands of followers within the month. Like,
wow, that's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because again, I'm using them for clients, but I do wonder, if you're like running a small race or, you're a small, you're not trying to find a national audience, like, can it do non-national, I guess is the question. And it sounds like the answer is yes. So that's pretty cool.
Can it do non-national? Well, what I'll say about like the Zohran stuff is I noticed a lot of people sharing. Like, I do think that it reached kind of like further than the normal stuff was reaching, because I would see a lot of story shares of the trial reels with like different language text over them.
Like international.
So I was like, oh, this is going global right now. In a way,
or just New York,
or just New York, totally, or just New York. But like, I was like, but so the analytics were worse in trial reels. If you
they're not as good.
You can't see where people are based. But that's why I'm making assumptions here.
But you can see where people live, like follower wise. Like, did you suddenly blow up internationally, like with that, or it's not sure? The next time you come on the pod, that'll be.
I'm not sure. Well, I do remember looking. I wasn't looking like outside of New York. I was tracking on what percentage of his followers were inside New York.
New York versus not, right?
A very high percent.
Was it?
It did go down.
I mean, it has to. I mean,
it absolutely went down as we approached primary day. So yeah, for sure. Like, I think when I first looked at it, it was like 38% New Yorkers is the number that's coming to me. And then by election day, it was like 25% New Yorkers. So like we definitely reached beyond like the audience we had been building, or that they had been building. I was not involved in it before.
Did the campaign? Were they worried? I mean, because that is something that comes up, like, oh, is this all local? It's like, well, no, it's not local, but we're trying to build something grassroots here. But like, did they see the value of growing an international or certainly national audience? Or were they like, whoa, let's stop talking outside the boroughs?
No, I think, I don't want to speak for them, but I think they were like, more the merrier. Like when the base is excited, the word spreads, like whether you live in New York or not. That was the vibe. I may be projecting that onto them, but that was the vibe. But I also think that's the mentality you kind of have to be in to like deeply and meaningfully invest in organic social early on. Is like, this might not like target people as narrowly as an ad might, but it like means something different. Like the return on investment here is more about like name recognition and branding and resonance, and less about like getting impressions from a specific demographic.
Right.
So
buy TV ads, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, okay. So that's one tool that I know you were using that I am also a big fan of, collaboration posts. That is another one that I feel like people do not understand exists and the opportunity that lives. And I know you were using that at least some on the, to clarify earlier, you mentioned Extremely Online Friend. It almost sounded like you were talking to me. That is the name of the account, Extremely Online Friend. So let's clarify, what is a collaboration post and how have you found those to help both Zohran, but also you? Like, I'm curious, like you grew 5 million impressions in 6 weeks starting at 0. So how much did collaboration posts matter for that? And walk us through what they are and how they work.
So a bit. I basically basically the ones that brought in followers for me were the ones that I did with Edna, with my dog. And like, that audience is primed for me. They already know my face.
They know you, sure.
And Edna's in some of my Extremely Online Friend content too. So I would like sometimes do collabs with her account, but not a ton. I haven't done a ton. Occasionally people, like during the mayoral race, people who I like did not know, and some people who I did know, like through politics, through life, through like going to Trending Up and like other conferences with like other creators. Those people would be like, hey, add me as a collaborator. Or just
sorry, real quick, just define what we're talking about for folks who don't know collaboration posts.
Okay, so a collaboration post is like when I post and I add Josh as a collaborator. Both of our names, if he accepts the collaboration post, both of our names will show up at the top next to both of our icons, and it will get fed to both of our followers. So we're kind of cross-pollinating our audiences.
And it's cool because what happens is, let's say you follow Gabbi but not me, and we do a collab post, you'll see the option to follow, which is kind of confusing because it's like, wait, I know her. Why would I follow her? And you click it and bang, you have the option to follow me. And if you're looking to see these in action, Courier Newsroom uses them a ton of people use them, but Courier Newsroom uses them all the time. So they're just like a really easy one to go see examples of if you're like,
I just did one with them today.
Nice. Did you post it or they did?
They posted it. They initially didn't ask to collab with me, and then I messaged them. I was like, could you, this is my writing, could you collab with me? And they were like,
it was about for what it's worth.
Yeah. And they like made the article into a graphic carousel, and I was like, throw some.
Hello, here I am. And did followers or too soon to say?
Not really. No. I would say mostly not. It also like flopped, or I was like, oh man, that flopped. And they're like, no, like our newsletter posts usually don't like perform as well as our other posts. And I'm like, all right.
Fair. It's a different
maybe
audience.
That's just nice of you to say, but
different audience, but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, no, cool. Okay, so then collab posts. I saw you did a lot of stuff with like creators for Zohran or whatever. Is that the right
Creators
name?
for Zohran was kind of just like the catch-all. It was run by a couple of people who were like very, very involved in the relational creator organizing piece of Zohran's campaign, like volunteers.
Volunteers, not staff.
Correct. Yeah. Volunteers. Well, there was one staffer, Amelia Rowland. She was doing, or I'm actually not sure if she was staff or contract. It doesn't matter. But she was leading on like the creator program for the general. And I was supporting on it a little bit. And then she like deputized a few creators to like really run the volunteer operation. And so they made this account, Creators for Zohran, that they were basically like, anybody can like ask to collab with us at any time, like just do that. And they don't have a huge amount of reach, they don't have a huge amount of followers. Okay. It's like a very new account, like within the last month it was created, but it was like a good way to reach a small but specific audience.
Sure.
And yeah, and I like Zohran's account was also like looking to repost good creator videos, and like that was one place they were getting sourced. So definitely, I had like insider knowledge others did not have, like just totally blatant.
But you are sharing it every day. Like I see your feed is like you telling you how to do it, so it's not really insider knowledge when you're like steal my ideas.
I mean, it's also just like I feel like this stuff changes so quickly. This could be irrelevant in a month, so I don't care. Like take this, run a great campaign with it, like grow your account with it. Hopefully I know about the next new interesting thing that comes along.
Anytime I learn anything, I go and tell everybody I know about it. I'm like, yeah, we all win together, you know? So on that note, do you use edits or CapCut, or are you doing all of this natively right in like Instagram?
I almost exclusively use CapCut.
Even though they claim that you get some juice from edits, you just can't be bothered?
I cannot be bothered because their captioning is just so inferior. There's just like no choices. It's not like word by word. I think captioning is so important and like so engaging for people to like read and get hooked in like by the word for word captioning, and just doesn't, unless there's like an edits update that I don't know about, like it's not as good. But I have used edits because actually this is something that you taught me at Netroots, because they had just launched their teleprompter feature. I have used that for some of my sponsored content just because like I've had a script approved and now I don't have to like read every line and cut in between. Like I can really just read the teleprompter. So that's the good piece of edits also.
So one other thing about edits, which may or may not even be like relevant anymore, but Adam Mosseri essentially like alluded to this at one point. And I don't do this, but I'm not trying to squeeze every, like the way you are, but I know people who will make their final video elsewhere, but then put it through edits to post, because there's supposed to be like a tiny bit of extra algorithm juice if it goes through edits. Wait, that might not even still be true today.
Adam said that doesn't work.
He said it did work at one point, but maybe he updated to say it doesn't work anymore.
He said it works if you edit in edits, you get a little extra juice for now, was like the wording, but then maybe he wasn't. No, he definitely, I think, said it. He was
what,
like,
if you don't actually edit it?
But it doesn't work if you edited it somewhere else and just put it in edits as a pass.
So maybe you got to do a tiny tweak or something of it. I don't know.
Yeah. So I did that a couple times and I was like, I don't have the time for this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like extra work for maybe, you don't know what you're getting. So are there any other, so CapCut is where you did all of your editing, and it was clearly like those videos were being edited, like you had content on screen and things like that. Are there any other third-party tools that you were using as part of Extremely Online Friend, that account? Or was that the main one?
I think it's that. That's
CapCut free, or like, I mean, there is a paid version. Do you pay for CapCut?
I think I do pay for CapCut. Yeah.
Just to get extra. Like, I think, just for folks who don't know, it's kind of like Canva. There's a bunch of stuff for free, and then if you need more stuff or you want additional, like I think you can only caption a certain amount of videos for free, and then you have to pay.
I think like there's certain sounds and like like editing features you don't get access to. And I was like, I spend so much goddamn time doing this. Like, why would I not pay that?
Right. Yeah, it's not super expensive or anything. Okay, so literally just CapCut and Instagram are like the only two tools that went into this.
Yeah. But I will say there's one more thing that I think helped me like grow slowly and consistently. And this is like a tactic that anybody can use, but it's not as easy as trial reels, which is coming up with a signature series. So as I'm sure Josh knows, like
Rachel Carton writes about this, and it's so we should talk about her at some point because we're both big fans of hers. But she's written a lot about signature series, and I am like obsessed with brands doing it. I'm trying to get a lot of my clients to do it. So okay, tell us about signature series.
Yeah, you've definitely seen lots of people doing it. Mine is what is mine? Is oh God. Mine's basically a series about my procrastination and like being a freelancer who is a dogfluencer and works in political communications and digital.
You're doing daily to-do list things.
Yes. So it's day one of doing one thing on my to-do list that's been sitting there for over a month for every 1,000 followers I have. And then we count how many followers I have with a green screen. And up till 28 days, I had under 1,000. So I never did anything. So I just let the to-do list pile up and pile up and pile up. And you can feel my anxiety and you can feel the tension building. But those are sometimes getting you followers because you're like incentivizing the followers.
Sure, they want to see what happens.
I want to see her do the thing. So they're like, okay, like, let me follow so I can see her do the thing. But they're also just building followers because people are like interested in what you have to say about freelancing or whatever it is that you're doing a signature series on. Like I've seen this particular follower threat type of series like be very successful on small account. I wouldn't count mine as particularly successful. Like mine has like definitely garnered a bunch of followers very slowly over time. But like I think one of the first ones I ever saw of this was like petting my dog one time for every 100 followers I have. And then like, you know, he gets to 1 million followers and he just like has to pet his dog like a zillion times, or like picking up one piece of litter for every 1,000 followers I have. And sometimes these accounts grow like 100,000 followers overnight, literally.
Wow.
Mine's a little more niche and like hard to say, and like was, you know, I knew
watch me do my to-do list is but it's still like it's cool concept. Does that work? Do you think that works on other platforms beyond Insta? Like, is that a TikTok thing too?
I've definitely seen it on TikTok. I don't know how well it works. I couldn't say.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you grew your Edna account on a bunch of platforms. This one, you are only on Instagram, correct? This account?
Yeah, I just kind of I thought about maybe setting up some like chatbot automations, not many chat stuff that are like bot automations that would like automatically suck my content over to the other platforms. But I was like, I have 1,500 other jobs right now. Like I just need to focus and do this the easy way.
Yeah, I've been manually pulling every TikTok video and putting it into YouTube Shorts just because like there is some juice there and it's like an interesting platform. I'm trying to learn about it more. But yeah, it's exhausting. It's like it goes from taking something that like used to take me like 4 minutes now takes me 7 minutes. But it's like I got a lot of things on my plate, so 7 minutes is a lot, you know. So I'm still doing it, and to YouTube Shorts. I don't know if you've played around with them. They are so random. Like some videos like reach thousands of views and some reach 20, and like some get tons of likes but almost no views. And it's like 80% of people will like a video. It's like, why did you only show it to 30 people if 25 of them liked it? It's like it feels the most random. They all feel random in different ways, but like YouTube Shorts feels the most random to me anyway. I've been doing it now for like maybe 6 weeks, just trying to figure it out, and I am no closer to understanding what works. So I'm just like, I'll just keep posting stuff.
Yeah, I did YouTube Shorts for Edna, being like, I really want to monetize on YouTube, and I did it for like a couple months till I hit 1,000, and then I was like, oh, so the other criteria here for getting monetized is like so many fucking views,
so many hours,
not even close to.
Well, it's hours of
it's
watch
either
time,
hours
right?
of watch time or shorts views.
Got it.
And one other thing, if anybody from YouTube is ever listening to me, like the YouTube Shorts interface, like the user interface and user experience on the phone is so bad, and like that is the main reason I've like failed to bring most of my content over there for Edna, because like it takes there's like 4 different screens where it's loading for like 30 seconds. And I'm just like, who who's got the time for this when it's like totally unclear what the payoff's going to be because there's no correlation.
It's so random. Yeah, there's no like, right. Like TikTok's so good at knowing what you want to watch and showing it to you. With YouTube, it's like, what's next? Like you just never know. It feels like chat roulette sometimes. Okay, let me ask you a question. Eating on camera, that is something you do a lot on Insta. Is that a thing? Like, I don't see it as much, but like you've got that one really big video where you're like just trashing Andrew Cuomo as you're eating an apple. There's one where you're eating a sandwich. Is that just because it's snack time when you're recording? Or like, is that like a thing to eat on camera that like, I don't know about and I should play around with?
You know,
I'm not going to do it, but I want to know if I should.
I've never been asked this question before. And frankly,
you heard it here first, folks.
Until this moment, I wasn't even totally aware that was the thing I was doing. But here's what I'll say. Leading up to me having this account, Extremely Online Friend, I have had just like catacombs of social media accounts that like have led me to this point where like it's easy for me to talk directly to the camera and eat on camera and like talk about my dog on camera because I have been like practicing doing that for so many years. The thing that got me great at doing direct to camera stuff was actually doing commercial modeling and doing lots of self tapes where I was just like fucking up my lines again and again and again and again. And also like waiting for my boyfriend to leave the house so I could record and like getting into that mindset where I was just like weekly doing like several self tapes and like learning how to not be embarrassed looking at myself and like performing. I wasn't good at modeling though, so that's neither here nor there.
I didn't know that was on your resume, but good to know. That'll have to be another conversation for sure.
Only a few years of my life, and let me tell you, they do treat dog models a lot better than they treat human models.
Doesn't surprise me.
Let me start and end that conversation there. But with the eating on camera, I actually for a few years, really just 1 year mainly, and during a difficult breakup, I ran an ASMR account. It's still there, the ASMR baby. And I did a lot of eating. I wasn't like into the whispering stuff, but I was like just eating marshmallows and pasta and like Pop Rocks and like really getting into like the sounds of the food and just like, I got like a really nice microphone. I still have it. Like, I guess I've just done a lot of eating on camera and I'm not shy about it. I think a lot of people are like, I'm ashamed, but I'm like, I'm eating all the time. And I do think it's engaging. I think it's like an interesting prop. I think people are like, what's going on here?
Yeah, what's she going to do with that apple? Oh, she's going to eat it. Got it.
What's she going to do with that apple? And then like, I bite it really aggressively and they're like, it's like one more thing pulling them in. Or like I recently, I was eating some cheese sticks in a video, some mozzarella sticks. And I was like, people will want to like see that. I don't know. There's just like some amount of intuition that's telling me like people want to watch me eat, or it's just like one more visual element that helps people focus on the content.
People love that Tony Soprano used to eat on camera, like on the show. And I never thought about it. Brad Pitt, like, so much talk about Ocean's 11 was that he was eating at every scene. Like people love that. So like, yeah, why not? It works in movies. It works on TikTok. I was just curious. Yeah, if that was like a thing. And it sounds like it's not, but you're creating it. So I love it.
It's prop. I'll say it's a prop that engages people.
Yep,
like anything. Like when I give Edna tiny little human hands, I'm like, that will be a visual hook to somebody.
Right. Figure out why is this happening? Right, exactly. Okay, so that was what I wanted to talk about, but you're here, so we should of course talk about Zohran. So I do not want to rehash anything we talked about during our last chat. If folks have not already listened, there's tons of stuff from Gabbi out there in the world about all the amazing things she did, like with ManyChat, including in episode 38 of this podcast. You can go check it out, but also like you were in Rachel Carton's newsletter, you did a campaign and elections thing. You wrote about it For What It's Worth. So lots of great folks out there. I've had a chance to talk to her. But what I want to know is you weren't necessarily, it sounds like you were more involved maybe than I even realized, but you had a front row seat, to say the least, to that entire campaign. So other than ManyChat, like what else do you think the campaign did right when it came to digital?
I mean, first and foremost, I think they took it seriously. And I think what that means is they invested very meaningfully, lots of resources in organic social media from very early on. Like if you go back, like 8 months before the primary, they are putting out high quality videos constantly.
Was
Not
that
like
with melted solids, or they came along later?
so they do a lot with melted solids from very early on. I think probably, I don't quote me on this, but maybe like definitely in the winter, like in
Early.
February.
Yeah. Okay.
They also like we're just like doing stuff in CapCut, like doing interesting direct to camera stuff and like filming pretty elaborate videos in CapCut or like editing them in CapCut. And they were going really just like really taking off. I forget which one, like one of the very early viral videos at least was a CapCut video. It might have been the Freeze the Rent polar plunge one. I can't remember. So again, don't quote me on this. I was not on the campaign at that time. I had no say in any of that strategy. Those are the geniuses who are on staff and at Melted Solids. But yeah, I would say like more than any campaign at this level that I have seen, they understood the importance of investing early because of how the algorithm really weighs heavily relevance over time and engagement over time. That's how it's calculating relevance, like for a long time. That's how the calculation's working. And so they were just like developing their audience around these very central, repeatable themes for many, many months. So I'll say that. And like, they obviously got like a bazillion other things, right? They like invested very, very heavily in field, like really just like a historic volunteer program. Like they knocked over 3.5 million doors, I think.
Wild.
Like,
Yeah. Wild.
with over 104,000 volunteers. Just like some of the best talent, like in the political world, advising. And of course, like Zohran is a generational talent of a communicator. Like,
So that's my next question. Does a candidate need to be as naturally talented as Zohran to pull off what y'all pulled off?
well, to pull off exactly what was pulled off, like, yeah, I think you do have to be like special talent, like, but I don't think that like to grow a huge grassroots resonant online and offline, online to offline movement, I don't think you need to be a generational talent of a communicator. I think like you do have to have a certain level of authenticity to you, which like means people believe what you say because you believe what you say, which is like disqualifying for a lot of the Democratic Party.
Tragically, yes.
Tragically. And I also think that like you have to be willing to invest. If you're not naturally good at organic social, you better hire someone who is. You better hire staff like who know how to edit and know how to coach you, and like, because no one's naturally good at speaking direct to camera. Like people practice that for years. Sometimes some people are more naturally good at it, but like that's a thing that is developed over time and you just have to practice. So I think like if there's a candidate willing to put in the time to practice and hire the right talent, know their weaknesses so that they can fill those gaps, like for sure you can explode on social without, being generational talent. Yeah.
The Mamdani campaign is both like a blessing and a curse for people like me who do digital, because everybody's like, oh, we should be like that. But then they're like, oh, we should be like that. And it's like, well, okay, are you going to do the work to be like that? It's like, they're like, now they get it, like, which is so funny. Like clients that I've been telling for 10 years, like 5 years, like, let's do short form video, are suddenly like, oh yeah, short form video seems important. It's like, does it? But then like, we do it and it's not, like I've had a lot of clients who get the concept, but don't have any idea next steps. And like, it's very hard. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, I want to do that. It's another thing to actually take out the camera and be willing to do it. And so many, not just my clients, I think we see this across the Democratic world. Like so many folks are just not willing to actually like he was a generational talent, but I do agree that like you do not have to be a generational talent to do well on digital. But you do have to be willing to invest in it, which I think a lot of folks don't understand, that it's not just like a fun thing you do on the side. It's something you actually like put time and energy and money and effort into. And I think that's a hard thing for a lot of folks to get. They're like, oh, it's Facebook. It's easy. It's fun. It's like, it is fun. It's not easy.
And I have had just countless people come to me in the last few months being like, you worked on Zohran's social media. I would like the Zohran Mamdani treatment as a candidate. And
You have
I'm
$8 million. Let's talk.
you have so much money. Like,
Right.
also, I don't do that kind of execution
Sure.
for other people, like for not myself at this point. I used to, but I don't anymore. And but they don't want to spend Zohran Mamdani money. Like,
Right.
I don't know what the money, what the number of dollars is that went into the organic social media operation. Couldn't say, but you could, because it is public. Like,
Yeah,
the
you could go
disclosures are public. You guys can all look this up. It's really not cheap. Like an operation that is doing like organic social at this high a level, like if you look at any campaign that's doing like very great organic social, they're spending tens of thousands of dollars a month, per month. And I've like had a lot of people come to me, and it's not because they're like being stingy. They just don't know that this stuff isn't cheap. Like, this is really expensive to do because you have to hire talented people who know what they're doing to do it, or you're going to spend $3,000 a month on social media and you're not really going to necessarily go very far.
Like I said, the blessing and the curse. They all suddenly, like, everyone suddenly gets it, but then they don't have any idea like what to do with getting it.
Yeah.
You know.
And this is my big fear now. I'm kind of like, oh man, this is a hill I'll either die on or will kill me. Like,
I think those are the same thing, but okay, go ahead.
That's neither here nor
Either
there.
way, the hill wins. Okay, no.
Either
You
way,
will defeat this hill, or it will kill you trying. Let's hear it.
Right,
What is it?
I basically feel like what we are looking at right now is like a Democratic Party who like finally now can see that it's undeniable that organic social is super important and can make just the biggest difference. Like, it's undeniable now, finally. What I don't feel optimistic about is that will translate into dollars spent on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a big piece of why I'm skeptical that we're going to see that transformation happen is because, and don't get me wrong, ads are important, but I really think we are about to see a whole gigantic, like, bunch of money getting transferred from our campaigns, from small dollar donors into the campaign coffers and out into the pockets of like paid ads consultants who stand to make commission on those like traditional media ads. And it makes me depressed because they are like not necessary. Like, we way outspent the GOP in 2024 on ads, and we lost. Whereas like Trump and the MAGA guys were racking up organic impressions on organic social and new media, and we beat them way out. We spent over $1 billion in paid money, and we lost. And like, no one bats an eye when like people tell you to keep investing in ads because they're like, this is what has always worked. And it's like, well, guess what, motherfucker? It doesn't really necessarily work anymore. But you know what's worth investing in and experimenting with and trying, also, so that you're left with a large asset you can continue to leverage after this campaign is over, is like organic social media. Why don't you take 20% of what you might have spent on paid ads and try to invest in your organic social operation and see what happens for you? But I'm afraid we might not see that shift because there's no incentive for those consultants to encourage that shift because they can't make commission off of it in the same way.
Yeah, we've definitely built a system built on what used to work, and the people at the table have, like so actually this leads nicely into my next question, because you and I have talked about this before. A huge part of my job, and I think of your job, is keeping up with the space, right? Like, literally this whole project is not like, you're not like doing this professionally, you're doing this professionally because you have to understand what works so you can teach your clients. And there are so many people in politics in the world who, like, either in digital, in politics, whatever, who like claim to be experts but haven't like kept up. And I think that is something that I work very hard to stay up to date on. And I know obviously you do too. So I'm curious, like, what resources are you using beyond testing on your own accounts? Are there like people you look to or platforms you go to like always be up to date, or it's like more just kind of random and you're just like constantly experimenting?
I certainly look to you, Josh.
That was not the point of that question, but sure.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I think
for those not watching, I almost spit my water out. She said that. That was the level. That was not my intention. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I'm like really fortunate to work with a lot of big accounts all the time. So I like really have my finger on the pulse of like what is working and what's not working on a lot of different levels of accounts. But like I absolutely keep up with what Rachel Carton is saying. Like, oh my God, the devil works hard, but Rachel Carton works harder.
I have like, I don't delete emails. Like I have a lot of like marketing emails that go into like a secondary box, but I don't delete them until I've like had a chance to review them. And there's a bunch of journalists or creators that I love, but I have like a giant stack of hers that like my plan is this winter when things slow down, I'm going to go backwards. Like I just can't keep up with it all. Like she posts so often, but they're all so good. If folks don't know, Rachel Carton is just like she's not in politics, but she gets political. Gabbi was in there once. She will have on like Chiose's comms director and things like that. But she's just really good about being at the cutting edge of what's happening. And yeah, she's definitely one of my top follows for keeping up with the space. So link in bio is her platform. If anybody will check it out.
I mean, speaking of like exemplary accounts, and Chiose, like him, like he doesn't like give digital tips, but
you
like
mean Speaker of the House, Jose?
Yeah, Speaker of the House, Chiose. Wow, he like really sets the standard for like political social in a lot of ways.
Easily one of the best in the business for sure.
Yeah,
like New York City councilman who's just been doing it. Before he was a household name, he was crushing it. Now that he's kind of a household name, he's crushing it. Yeah, for sure. So.
Yeah, he rocks. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I get a lot of inspiration for my political stuff from non-political accounts because I don't think that for the most part, political social media is as strong as creator social, small business social, and brand social because like they have to get their money from that. So they have like a financial incentive to constantly be experimenting and trying stuff. And B, they don't work in cycles where like they start up and then 6 months later they close down and they start up and close down. They are like working all year round, many years in a row in a way that just like lends itself much better to knowing what is going on social and using the like best practices of this specific moment. Whereas organic social can sometimes like, because it's funded in cycles, it's invested in cycles. And like when it's something that clearly needs year-round maintenance, it's not getting it.
Is Zohran going to keep investing in organic social now that he doesn't have a campaign to run? Like, I hadn't thought about it. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, I can't imagine he's going to have the kind of output he had or the kind of budget behind it. Like, you know, is he going to fundraise to like keeping his team doing this? Like, hard to imagine, but it'll be fun to watch him control the city accounts.
Yeah. I mean, and like for just one like really outstanding example is like Kamala HQ exploded, right? Dead since then.
Literally hasn't posted since.
Hasn't posted just
I wrote the TikTok FYP like from Courier. Like I wrote that newsletter. I studied that account, and my friends Kyle and Lucy over there neither of them are full-time anymore over there, but we were like raising alarms and talking about things that we were seeing and watching Trump steal all the Kamala HQ ideas and like repurpose them with the love of like an algorithm that loves hate for some reason. But like, it's the biggest. I mean, I think Kyle Tharp pointed this out in Chaotic Era. It's literally the biggest political account on the Democratic side on TikTok, and it's been dormant for a year because she doesn't know what to do with it. Is she saving it for her next run, or should like what a wasted opportunity to like keep, even if it was just her fundraising just to keep doing it. Like I don't know what the answer is, but that can't have been the answer.
If it was a meme a week, a direct to camera a week, like a month, anything like you built like something of a movement at least, you know, like you built something and now you're just letting it die and it's lost all its algorithmic relevance. Could you wake it up? Of course you can wake it up. Like, what? You could have been doing something with this the whole time.
It's quite a decision that was made. So on that note, okay, wait, if candidates and their teams, specifically political campaigns, specifically down ballot races, if they change one thing about their digital program based on this chat, what should it be?
Oh,
and you could give 2 or 3, but like, I want to talk to like the non-governor races, the non-Senate races, the non-Zohran Mamdani, like international, like, you know, like, is it just use trial reels and see it? Is it do direct to camera videos? Is it collabs? Is it like the investment has to come before you're going to see success? Like, I don't know. Do you have a one takeaway?
Okay, I have a few. I'm trying to order them in my head, but like one is if you don't know organic social very well, do try to invest in someone who does. And on a down ballot race, on scrappy campaigns, I know you're not working with like probably a full-time person who does this, but maybe you're hiring a body person, or maybe you're hiring a comms person, but maybe those responsibilities are what's tacked on to the end of their social media title. Maybe you're hiring for organic social first, and then also like someone who helps staff you at events, or maybe they're also someone who like handles traditional press. Like we don't see we we don't really see campaigns who like just don't hire traditional press people. Like I have yet to meet a campaign that like didn't have someone dedicated to comms, but all kinds of campaigns have no one dedicated to social media, and it's like that is a really tough skill to learn. So if you find someone who knows it and can do something else on the side, like that should maybe be the arrangement now, because historically it's always been like you have a job and you can do social media on the
side, right?
I think that's over. And what I'll also say is like, rather than it being like about one thing, trial reels or direct to camera, I think it's obviously a combination, but I think more than that, it's about consistency. It's about investing early in consistency, and that should be a consistency, like a pace of posting, a cadence that is doable for you in the long term. Like posting as much as you can without burning out, so that you are constantly in people's feeds, and like posting a variety of content so that like you can make that sustainable for yourself. And what I mean by that is like some of them could be like 20-second direct to cameras so that people are like seeing your face and remembering you're alive. Some of them could be tweet shots, literal screenshots of tweets you've already
still do well on social. It's bizarre. I always say people hate Twitter, but they love screenshots of tweets. It's so weird. It's so
literally weird. People, there's nothing people love more on social media than screenshots of other websites.
So funny. Yeah. Reddit screenshots can do well, but Twitter screenshots take the cake. It's bizarre.
Screenshots of news headlines.
Yeah, true that.
Like these are so quick and easy, and like you can produce them so quickly, easily, dirtily, like with no skill, and like caption them okay, and just like as long as you've got a presence on people's feeds, like the longer you can have a consistent presence on people's feeds before your election day, the better. So if that's investing in people, awesome. If you have that kind of money. If it's not, like find a way to post a few times a week.
I love it. That reminded me of something I heard at Netroots that I hadn't thought about, but that I loved. And I wish I could remember who said it, but they said that quality matters, but consistency matters more. And if you think about, so many people are like terrible podcasts or terrible content, but they're there every day or twice a week or even once a week. And like, I'm guilty of this. Like this podcast is not weekly. I don't have bandwidth for that. This podcast is a work of passion. Like I love this podcast. I love getting to connect with like amazing people like you. I learn from you, and I know other people are learning from you through it. But like, yeah, if I could do this weekly, I would, but like, I just can't. But for a campaign, you want to win an election, you better be investing. And I could not agree more. Like if you're not showing up on people's feeds regularly, you are not changing you're not bringing anybody in. So yeah, I think that's a great answer. Like be showing up, whatever it means to do that. Obviously, if that's something that the candidate can do themselves, fine, but it shouldn't be. It should be something they bring somebody on to do. But no, okay. That was, I think it's a great and super actionable answer. Don't hire a comms person or a body person who can do social, hire a social person who could do that other stuff. How should folks, you've got a lot of stuff out there now. How should they go to the ASMR baby, or how do you want folks to connect with you moving forward?
You can go ahead and follow me on Extremely Online Friend to see my very low lift. We're going to get you up to
3 to-do items today, man.
I'll limit it to 3, or I'll limit it to 2. You can see my very, very low lift, but very consistent content on Extremely Online Friend to get like tips and tricks on digital tactics and my hot takes on politics and rants about being a content creator and internet culture and dogs and all that stuff. That's Extremely Online Friend on Instagram. And then you can follow me on LinkedIn if you just want to keep up like with my work and see what I'm up to next. I'll be posting anything and everything that happens to me.
You have a website?
I have a website. It's zutrow.nyc. But
Zutrow.nyc.
I'd say LinkedIn is like the place that gets up
Okay,
later.
I will link to LinkedIn and that Instagram account in the show notes. And
And my full name on LinkedIn is Gabriella Zutrow.
gotta complicate it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, like I said, I'll have links to that. Thank you so much for coming back and checking back in with me. This was super fun, and I hope it was fun to talk about something other than ManyChat for an hour. So
Yeah.
thank you.
That does it for another episode of Hello Merge Tag. Thanks so much for listening. Know anyone who might appreciate this podcast? Please share it with them today. Find all episodes at hellomergetag.com or wherever you stream podcasts. Have questions or want to connect? Drop us a line at hello@reverbalcommunications.com. Until next time, keep on telling your story.